This is how you defend Dorado with Winston. Hey, what's up everyone? AceOFSpades here, top 10 tank and former contenders player. So a lot of you have been asking for map guides, and we're going to go ahead and, try and give one a try. You guys let me know in the comments, what you like, didn't like about it. And yeah, we're going to go over, each of the spots that you should probably be attacking or defending from. We're going to go for the attack in the next one. I'll try and keep it to like defense, one video, and then attack, one video. Probably try and keep it short. Hopefully get it done within, like 8 minutes tops, maybe 5 to 8 minutes, each of the guides. Just go over it pretty fast. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it and see where you should be playing. So defense on first point. You guys think we should be playing here?
No, do not play here on defense
in the beginning. This is not good. I see a lot of Winston players be playing around here. Yeah, you have your right click now, which lets you spam out damage. You can bubble if they dive, but it doesn't really give you any early ult charge and all that type of stuff. So you're not really getting the most value you can out of your character. So this is the ideal starting spot for Winston. And the reason is because when they start pushing the cards, one, you can drop here, get cleave, use your bubble, play the corner. Your healers are going to be here to heal you. And you can, jump out easy once they break your bubble and start pushing you. And if they don't, then you can just be contesting the cart for, as long as you can. And then eventually, yeah, you will be forced out. But, every second counts when defending. So always want to start up there. You drop down. You can either counter dive up top. You can counter dive back here if they dive you. Yeah. And the only thing you really have to be careful for when you are starting here and you drop down, if they have like Diva, Genji, Hanzo, stuff like that, like all of those together, and you jump back up here to be safe, they can chase you, be right here, and then maybe kill you before, you can get healed and stuff. So those are like kind of the only comps you have to be really careful for, especially the Diva, when jumping back here on your first jump. So if they have those, it's always safer just to jump back with your team, wait for bubble, and then, you can re-engage, contest, stuff like that. So let's say you did your first engage and you jump back here, so you're with your team. The next place that you'd want to fight is you rotate to here. You can play right here, contest cart, shooting the, tanks as they come through, squishies. You can drop down, gauge the squishies right here. But can always jump back to your teammates. You always jump back up top. I do see a lot of people trying to play like this corner in the front, and then you can just be like zapping them, stuff like that. It's not terrible, but I think just rotating, especially with Winston, since your main engage, the main things you want to do with Winston are getting engages onto the squishy targets, stuff like that. You don't really want to be playing like a frontline battle versus Orisa, Rhine, Ramacha and stuff like that. You're not going to be like wanting to take a frontline battle with them. You want to be using your kit to your advantage and going for those squishy targets. So playing right here is the next best spot, to which allows you to get on the squishies and stuff. So that's what you want to be looking for on the second fight with the Winston. And let's say you get pushed back all the way. Next spot, not really very many good spots. You kind of just want to be playing a corner and then looking for an engage onto like a squishy target. You could kite back to this place as long as you're playing not out in the open. There's a lot of times Winston players be playing out in the open. Yeah, you have your bubble, but it does get shredded and it does have a time limit. So once it breaks, you want to be making sure that you can get to a corner and hide so you're not taking unnecessary damage, as well as being like, in healer LOS and stuff. So if you get pushed back, most ideal spots, you want to be playing, maybe up here and then looking for engage onto like their backline, getting, a fight in that way. Maybe hopefully winning it. And then, if you win that, then guess what? Bang, you want to be pushing back up and playing right here. I wouldn't really say you want to be pushing up like all the way into their spawn, especially if the cart's like pushed back, because they'll just take like a fast fight onto cart. Yeah, then you're gonna be using your jump to disengage pretty far away. So you always want to like keep in mind how far the cart is to how far you want to push up. Because with Winston, you always want to, once you win a fight, push up and try and take a good engage spot, so you can get on them close without having to use your resources, but don't go too far. So, you know, if the cart's here, then playing here is fine. If the cart's like right here and you won the fight, then yeah, dude, this is really the best spot, because then your healers are going to be positioned here with your DPS, and you can take like another fight just like how it is on first. So depending on where the cart is, push up to a spot to where your healers can still have LOS of you, and then, you know, you'll be good to go. Then let's see. So let's say they cap first. Wow, who would have guessed? High ground. The monkey wants the high ground. Yes. So this is the first spot you're gonna be wanting to take the next engage at, and the reason is you can be able to jump down for free onto, you know, like the supports, and then you can use your jump to escape. With Winston, we'll just keep on saying this over and over again, the best case for Winston is you can drop down onto the enemy without having to use your jump, because then you can use your leap to disengage, so then you don't die. When you're forced to, you know, see an engage, you jump on them, and if you're out of, you know, your cooldown for a good while, and you probably can get focused pretty easily and die. So unless you see a squishy, you know you can kill them, the best case is always, you know, try and position yourself in a spot where you can drop down and then usually to disengage. Yeah, so this is definitely the best spots. Kind of straightforward. If they use, you know, trying to go up top on, you know, like the high ground and stuff, you can always like start right here. It lets you contest if they try and go inside. You just do a little like jump and then, you know, hold your like arrow keys. It's not terrible to be able to not take damage but still get onto the squishies. Then, you know, let's say like, you know, like pushing out, you will have to jump. You can't like leap up here. At least I don't know if how you can do that. So yeah, so you have to use your leap to, you know, engage if they start pushing here, but it's still a decent spot to start because you can shoot them as they come out, and, you know, lets you still engage the corner if they try and go that way. But let's see, normally they're going to be pushing the cart from here, so after this first engage you'll probably still be able to play up here, drop down, get engaged as normal. It's not very many other spots you'd want to really engage from, but let's say the cart has moved up to the corner here and you need to contest this corner, solid, so your healers can still see you, or you can start from like here to be able to contest cart, but you always want to be looking for the enemy's backline, right? So if you're going to be playing here, stopping cart or whatever, always be looking to see if you can find one of their squishies or a DPS that just use like the movement abilities, so you can engage on them, get the kill, and then you can go back to cart and stop it. Yeah, so make sure you're always just like thinking about, if you are, you know, playing like these contestable spots, that you're always like proactively thinking, looking for a target to be able to engage on, because that's, you know, the main focus of the Winston is to do that. But let's go ahead and go into third point. So third point, it's not very many spots you can really get engages from as Winston from the high ground, except for right here. So let's say you lost third point. Defense here, there's a couple you can either be playing up top to begin with, see where they're at, you know, you can jump down, engage. You can play kind of close here, right? So they're going to be walking through, you get some zaps, and then it still lets you be able to disengage. One of the pretty solid spots, I would say, I like to always start with is if you're, you know, they just took third and your guys are all coming back. This spot is pretty solid, and the reason for it is because, one, you have the mega here if you need to get health. Two, you can jump out if you need to get back to your team, and you can still get to high ground. You can, since the card's going to be using here, you can use it as cover and force some people to come down and stop you from contesting. And if they push up top to get to your team, then, you know, you can counter dive and give your team, like, you know, like the bubble and everything. So it just, you know, stops the cart there. You still have counter play potential, and it forces them to waste a little bit more resources in stopping the, you know, cart. Don't just let them get free push every single time. Because eventually it's either you're going to be dropping down here looking for an engage, or, you know, you're playing here looking for an engage as well. So, you know, it's kind of just forces them to try and force you out while getting into, like, you know, your DPS and your healer's line of sight to, you know, give them free damage. So I'd always say, like, maybe start here first, and then once the card, you know, gets under to like the bridge, then you can start playing, you know, the bridge spot. You can start playing this spot, and, you know, look for engages that way. So let's see, you're going into third all the way. Testing, you know, it's not really much you can do here. That's just, you know, getting engaged using cart to bubble dance, hide around. But if you can, it's always better to have one of, like, your tracers contest point, and then you jump up top and look for an engage. But yeah, I try to go over, like, you know, the fast, quick spots and get you out of here as fast as possible. So yeah, I think that wraps up this Dorado defense guide for the Winston. But hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Let me know, you know, what you liked, didn't like, tips, something like that, for making the videos better, since this is the first one. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, know whenever the next guides come out, and till the next one. Peace.